Welcome back to News Geelong as we look at the world of Geelong sport. It's our very own Mitch Scoop Cleary. Good evening, Mitch.
Thanks, Rollo. With all eyes on tomorrow night's blockbuster against Collingwood at the MCG, Geelong coach Chris Scott said it will be a massive opportunity for his side to perform after a lacklustre past few weeks.
We'd like to be playing a little bit better, but to be honest, it doesn't really matter how you played in previous weeks. It matters what you do on the night. So it's, in some respects, a little bit daunting, especially for the people looking in from the outside. We're treating it as a huge opportunity. And we have the chance to test ourselves in the way we play against the good teams. We have a chance to take points away from them. We have a big chance to really improve the way that we're playing, and there's no better time to do that than against the really good sides.
Scott was adamant they could flick the switch against the Pies despite limping over the line against Gold Coast last week.
Can't you?
You think you can?
Oh, absolutely, I think we can. Yeah, I mean, as I said, the preference is to be playing better, but you know, there is no reason why we can't play really well this week. It would be probably easier for us to be playing really well and continue that form into this week rather than to be playing average footy and then play really well. But it doesn't make it impossible. I was asked a question post-game on the weekend. Do you think you can win on the weekend? Of course we can. Of course we can. I'm not saying we're going to, but if we play near our best, absolutely we can win. Not only this week, but every game we play for the rest of the year.
Forgotten ruckman Nathan Vardy could make a surprise comeback to play some football before the season's out. Yeah,
we hope so. I mean, the goal for Vards is to come back and play a little bit of footy by the end of this year. It won't be a disaster if he doesn't, but it gives him something to aim for, and he's making really positive progress. He was making really positive progress earlier in the year as well, and it probably goes for a few of our guys. Josh Cowan is starting to look pretty good. Trav Varco's made some positive steps as well, but when you're looking sort of 5, 6, 7 weeks into the future, it's really hard to predict. But as we stand here now, we're pretty confident that all those guys will be available to play some footy before the season finishes.
Scott said Vardy wasn't far away from joining the full sessions with the main group.
Yeah, we think so. It won't be for the next couple of weeks, but after that, we envisage him doing all the work with the senior group during the week.
Thanks, Chris. Now we're up to the Geelong Racing Club for all the action from Tuesday's race meeting on the synthetic track with development manager John Dunn, including an interview with Brad Barilla, who rode 4 winners for the day.
Big day's racing on the synthetic here last Tuesday. Turek Toff at Rosemont Stud Day. And David Hayes has always been a great supporter of the synthetic track here at Geelong. And he drew first blood when his debutant filly Blackman took out the centre bet now maiden plate.
Given his head at the top of the stretch, and at the 250 roared clear, led 2.5 lengths on Lock Lenny. Running on is Manhattan Made from Little Miss Perfect. Walker had a poop over the shoulder on Blackman. It's in front. Lock Lenny's making a bit of ground. It's not going to be fast enough, but because Blackman's holding Lock Lenny and Manhattan Blonde, and Blackman well tried wins on day 2.
The locally trained galloper Luke's Courage has been placed in his past 2 starts on the synthetic. And he finally got the chocolates and broke through to the line with veteran jockey Matthew Allen aboard.
He's got a big run on Luke's Courage. He quickly burst up on the fence now to hit the front and races to the lead. Mariner's going to be the challenger. He's getting out and coming on strong. But it's Luke's Courage in front, leading by a length. Mariner trying desperately. Luke's Courage in front. Mariner can't bridge the gap. Luke's Courage clings on and wins it by a lot.
Form students will agree that form on the synthetic track stands up very well when you're doing your study for the races, and no horse vindicates that better than Spirit Scent. He's now had 6 starts for 5 wins and a placings on the synthetic, and he took out the Rosemont Stud Stakes.
Led down by the 200, Your Excellency, and now Spirit Scent. Spirit Scent letting rip, hits the front. Intention is starting to whip down the outside, but Spirit Scent got a margin up with the length in front. Intention can't really mean, and Spirit Scent goes on to win from Intention.
The big money came in the last event for the Peter Snowden trained Henshaw. Backed in from $6 to $3, and punters had the last laugh when Henshaw fought off the valiant Street Crier all the way down the home straight to get the money in the last.
On strongly, Street Crier down the outside. He's been well poised. and then Windsor additional length at a half away. Bossing's starting to go for Street Trial. He's had the perfect run. He moves up to Hinshaw. Hinshaw's not done with. Hinshaw in front. He's spinning off Street Trial. Hinshaw leads the way in near the post, and Hinshaw draws away. Big day for winners. It's good in anybody's language, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And haven't finished yet. I'm over the road with this thing, you know.
You especially up in Perth at the moment?
Yeah, so good to go out to get them out, and very busy at the moment, which is a good thing.
And you're on fire, so you're right in the zone at the moment. I mean, multiple winners nearly every day, so this is like turning the clock back a couple of years.
Yeah, and look, your wife Caroline, she's really worked hard over the last month to, just booking her eyes and getting me back competitive again, which isn't a bad thing.
And that's the wrap-up of racing here last Tuesday, Direct off at Rosemont Stud Day on the synthetic. And, of course, we're back here next Friday afternoon on the synthetic track. And that's back to you in the studio now, Mitch. Good to see you on the ground 2 weeks in a row.
Thanks, JD. Hopefully you can find a better-looking scarf in that wardrobe of yours for next week. Now we're down to the Geelong Footy Club to speak with one of our favourites at News Geelong, VFL development coach Max Rook.
On our VFL segment, we're fortunate enough to have one of the coaches, and not just a coach, but Max Rook, who I've been watching, of course, playing the odd game or two for Newtown and Chilwell, but he is also the backline coach for the Cats, who are going pretty well at the moment, Max.
Yeah, we've had a really good last month of footy, and from a defensive point of view, we've moved up to number 2 in the comp for points against, so I'm pretty happy with the way the boys are going at the moment.
Yes, well, I suppose you've had some coming and going from, the senior side, and some top-up players coming in, so nothing really stays the same, does it?
No, there's plenty of changes every week, so yeah, it's always early on in the week we're not too sure who we're going to have playing, but doesn't really matter who's come in and who's been out lately. They've all been playing their role pretty well, so yeah, can't complain too much.
Been stringing a few wins, and against Collingwood at Victoria Park on Saturday, you'd think the way that Collingwood are going that could be another 4 points for the Cats.
Well, we'd hope so, but yeah, obviously can't take any game too lightly. If we don't play very well, or don't play at our best, I'm pretty sure Collingwood will beat us, and I'm sure if we play our best, then we're a good chance. But we've played them, this will be about the 4th time this year, because we played them a fair few times during the pre-season, and we've had a pretty good record against them so far, so we're hoping that will continue.
Well, a bit of an awkward ground down there, having watched it on television, but a bit of renovation going on, a few open spaces there with buildings and things. It probably doesn't make it all that easy to judge the winds and the currents that are coming through that old Victoria Park ground.
No, but I'm sure that won't be a problem. I don't think it really matters where we play or what time, and it's something we try and teach our young players. It doesn't matter if we're playing in a paddock or, at MCG, we just try and play the same way, and yeah, it's not really a concern at all.
Well, I go back to Warrnambool a couple of weeks ago, so if you can play that reserve down there, you can probably play anywhere.
Yeah, that's right. It was pretty wet, pretty windy and pretty muddy, and the boys played extremely well, and I think it can suit our style of footy a bit too when conditions are pretty wet and muddy, so yeah, like I said, it doesn't really matter what conditions we come up against on Saturday. I'm sure that the boys will play well.
Well, the defence has been very good, and you'd obviously hope that will continue. And some of the young blokes that have come into the side too have really done their bit.
Yeah, they have. I think Jordan Murdoch just jumped up into the seniors a couple of weeks ago. He's one of the young defenders that I've been working with early on in the year, and he's got his chance now at AFL level. And there's plenty of good young players coming through. Young Jed Buse is doing really well in defence, and Ryan Bathy's coming along every week as well. So got some good young players there in defence.
And have you got many on the injured list at this time of the year?
We're pretty good, actually. We've only got a couple of injuries at the moment, so yeah, we can't complain at all on that front either.
Well, you're going well to make the finals this year, and let's hope Collingwood is just another notch on the belt tomorrow at Victoria Park.
Yeah, we certainly hope so. Thank you.
Thanks, Max. And that's all we have time for in sport tonight. Be sure to catch us next week. And go Cats. Now it's back to you, Rollo.
Thanks very much, Mitch, and a reminder, I will return the coat hangers shortly. And now for all the weather conditions expected for Geelong and the Surf Coast over the next 6 days. Let's look at the week ahead. Tomorrow, Saturday, we'll see a cloudy day with showers developing during the morning, becoming less widespread later in the evening, but a chance of a thunderstorm from late morning until the evening with possible hail and a top of 12. Starting off another week of July, Sunday will continue with the partly cloudy conditions and isolated showers along the surf coast, extending throughout in the afternoon and a top of 14. While Monday will be partly cloudy, isolated showers on the surf coast, clearing in the afternoon and a top of 15. Tuesday will be partly cloudy with north winds and a top of 15. Wednesday will see the partly cloudy conditions continue with isolated showers and an expected top of 13. While Thursday will be partly cloudy with those persistent isolated showers and a top of 13. Today it was cloudy with scattered showers throughout, accompanied by light winds as we reached a top temperature of 13. And that's another bleak winter weather outlook for Geelong and the surf coast. So if you're going to the footy tomorrow, rug up and keep warm and dry. By the way, go Cats. Thank you for joining us on News Geelong this evening. We hope that there are people viewing that are addressing our use it or lose it message. It is vital to all of us that we continue to provide this service to you. So remember, take your time and smell the flowers. Stay viewing Channel 31 for the local footy show with Daryl Pittman and the boys. And don't forget to start your day in a very bright way with the ladies of the Geelong and District Football League netball at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, to be followed by, at 8:30, the informative GDFL footy show with Big Dick Philpott, trying his very best to harness the enthusiasm of the little man from Werribee. Loves the duck weather at the moment, grubbycations. Very entertaining. But wait, there's more. Join the GDFL broadcast team on the Pulse 94.7 FM for a full description of play in the match between the Thompson Tigers and the Anarchy Kangaroos, direct from Godfrey Street Reserve. The Geelong Football League has a bye this weekend. From all the team at News Geelong, enjoy the rest of the evening, have a safe weekend and a very good night.